My grandfather smoked his whole life. I was about 10 years old when my mother said to him, "If you ever want to see your grandchildren graduate, you have to stop immediately." Tears welled up in his eyes when he realized what exactly was at stake. He gave it up immediately. 3 years later, he died of lung cancer. It was really sad and destroyed me. My mother said to me, "Don't ever smoke. Please, don't put your family through what your grandfather put us through." I agreed. At 28, I have never touched a cigarette. I must say, I feel a very slight sense of regret for never having done it, because this kind of shit would have given me cancer anyways. Look at this shit! Stop spamming! Stop it! Fucking time, man! God damn it! Fuck you, don't ask me. Fuck it. Die, die, die. Fuck you, you asshole, bitch.
Haha, you're fast, but I'm pretty quick myself.
Are you trying to show off? Oh, it's me again.
Hey, you're actually into it.
We can still get back in it. Oh, it's not over.
Weapons at the ready. Let's do this.
Finally got you.
Keep it cool. Bring it on, you monster.
Just don't die before I tell
Stay
you
calm.
to.
Let's use the plan we discussed.
As gaming is increasingly becoming a booming industry, it is undeniable that today is the golden era for the most oppressed group that ever existed. Gamers are rising up around the world to demonstrate their gaming prowess in the face of other competitors with equal skill to their own. Events such as streaming, tournaments, and esports has become a mainstream profession as people want to establish their skills among the high ranks in the hopes of claiming the #1 victory royale. Look at games like League, CSGO, or Overwatch. These types of games are focused on an idea that is both great strength and flaw. Team reliability. For me, team reliability can be both enjoyable and the downfall of my already declining sanity. On one hand, you get to meet complete strangers that you have to coordinate and organize attacks with, and sometimes it's a good opportunity to bond with new people, or with already existing friends you play with. On the other hand, when players on the same team have a bigger skill gap than just his absent to attendance ratio at school, it can create piles and piles of salt. In a tournament setting which involves different talented players on both the enemy team and your team, it's easy to see which player lacks in comparison when set on the same stage. Working together is not always easy. It's easy to notice how little people do not respect a team event. There will always be that one guy you meet at every ranking that costs the game.
Bro, I have 5 fucking enemies on my fucking team! What the fuck is wrong with this piece of shit game? I have 5 enemies!
Being able to get help and contributing to others are sometimes reasons alone to play on teams. Also, when a team wins a tournament, everyone gets some sort of compensation prize. But there's also the benefit of sharing losses. The salt from losing is distributed to the whole team instead of one person. The bigger the team it is, the more scapegoats you have to deny your loss because of your lack of skill, while equally savoring the glory of your team wins. But in fighting games, you don't get the privilege of moving the blame. You get the privilege of being assaulted by some loser that skips school every day just to practice this video game. I would even say assaulted. If you call playing against someone online a battle, you might as well call a shirt in a washing machine a battle as well. Because in online, the only thing you're facing is not the opposing player, but your pride. Often, you would encounter players that are in a higher rank than you are. If you are a casual, and you happen to see one of these guys strolling casually, do yourself a favor. Go on the floor, then after that, get on all fours, on your elbows and knees, then grab both your left, then right butt cheek, and spread them as far as you can, because they will rip you a new one. And the worst part of all, you need to appreciate this kind of cyberbullying, because in fighting games, everything is based on how much time is invested to improve, and the raw functions of the game. Everything you do pays off, and every shred of effort actually counts. Because in fighting games, there are no shortcuts or pay-to-win features that allow a player with 8 years of experience to get dumpstered by someone with the IQ of a Snickers chocolate bar that has $3 lying around. This is all the more reason why fighting games are more devastating in comparison to team reliability games. You can't blame anyone when you're salty, and if you lose, it's your fault alone because you're bad. To top it off, fighting games have more than one thing that set aside salt from the rest of most games, and that is taunting and mind games. Taunting, be it teabagging, toxic fits, provoking, or spam, is an integral part of mind games. In these games, you see taunting all the time, and some of the greatest players have used it to throw off their opponent's mental game.
Rare footage of Daigo actually angry.
This kind of overconfidence usually shows what kind of a person you are, and it usually backs up your skill as a player.
I think this guy talks a lot, and it's about time for him to learn some respect.
But when you lose, it just shows that you are nothing but talk.
Down. That's an up smash. And a 5-0. Right now, Chillin gets dethroned. He is not using this color fox anymore, and that is it.
To know the true extent of taunting, it is important to know how mind games work. The two factors of mind games is the cause and effect of outcomes and the anger caused by punishment.